Christ. You have to be willing to show Muhammad. I mean, look, let's be honest here. Let's look at South Park. All right? South Park has made fun of Jesus and made fun of Satan. How many times? How many times have they made fun of Jesus and Satan? Countless number of times. And that made people mad. I remember growing up, I went to a Baptist school in for most of middle and high school. And let me tell you, there were a lot of people there, mostly in the older cadre, the teachers, the parents, who were offended by South Park and the portrayal of Jesus and the portrayal of Jesus. But you didn't see them try to kill Matt Parker and Trey Stone. Or Trey Parker and Matt Stone. You didn't hear them do that. There were some that tried to get it thrown off the air, and kudos to Comedy Central for not doing that. But when Comedy Central decided to have Muhammad, 2 times when they decided to have Muhammad portrayed on their show, Comedy Central balked. Comedy Central said, nope, you can't show Muhammad at all. Doesn't matter the context. Can't show him. Twice they did this. And that's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. And shows hypocrisy. Because either you're going to be willing to offend everyone, or you're going to have to offend no one. And that's something that individual news organizations are going to have to make that decision, and they're going to have to be consistent with it. Because if you're not consistent with it, that says something. And that leaves you open to a lot of criticism. We're going to take a real quick break. We'll be back right after this. This is Saturday Night Cigar Lounge here on Vigilant Liberty Radio. A special taped episode, the Taylor Goes to Hockey taped episode. And when we get back, I want to talk about a situation that happened in Pueblo, Colorado, involving free speech, or possibly free speech. And we'll look at whether it is or not. This is Saturday Night Cigar Lounge. Back after this.
This is the Pint-Sized Pundit, and I am here to tell you that anything Taylor says on Saturday Night Cigar Lounge is his opinion and his opinion only. He does not speak for his employer, his employer's employer, or anyone else. He especially doesn't speak for Liz unless she says so.
Hi, I'm Dustin Hoyt with America Our Way, and you can hear me right here on Vigilant Liberty Radio at 10/9 Central on Thursday nights. We bring you the best in political commentary from the right-wing, conservative, libertarian perspectives coming together and bringing the best content on the internet. Be sure to tune in every week for your favorite shows. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
Hi, this is Jason Dibbler, co-host of Q with a View, heard every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on FTR Radio. Right now, FTR needs your help in making the jump into the 21st century through some long-needed equipment upgrades. This is where you, the great and loyal listeners of Great Conservative Talk Radio, can really lend a hand. Visit GoFundMe.com/helpupgradeFTR right now. Your assistance, no matter how small, will help to ensure that FTR can continue to offer some of the best conservative radio on the interwebs. Your donation of $50 gets you up to 60 seconds of airtime on FTR Radio 4 times. For $100, your ad will run 10 times, or if you don't want to run an ad, you can have 30 minutes of FTR airtime to talk about anything you want. There are other thank yous for other levels of giving as well, but those are some pretty great offers. We hope you'll consider making a small donation to help keep quality conservative talk radio alive and thriving on the internet. Visit gofundme.com/helpupgradeftr today. Thank you.
This is David Silverman, president of American Atheists, and you are listening to Vigilant Liberty Radio.
Now let's be clear. Now let's be clear. Now let's be clear. There are no winners here. Now let's be clear.
And back here on Saturday Night Cigar Lounge, here on Vigilant Liberty Radio, I'm your host, Taylor Millard. We are taped this afternoon, evening, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to see the Dallas Stars face the Washington Capitals, and hopefully the Dallas Stars will win. So that's why it's a taped show. And hopefully we'll be back next week live and in person. Live and in person. So let's talk about whether something else is free speech or not. From KRDO in Colorado. Southern Colorado, I should add. A CSU Pueblo sociology professor filed a lawsuit against University President Leslie DeMare and the Board of Governors, citing that his First Amendment rights were violated. Tenured Professor Tim McGettigan said when he heard the university was considering laying off 50 employees last year, he sent out a mass email. So, what was in this mass email? Well, the mass email compared what happened, or what was planned on happening, with the layoffs within Colorado State University to the Ludlow Massacre of 1914. So what is the Ludlow Massacre? The Ludlow Massacre was when members of the National Guard got into a firefight between a militia. It may not have been it was the Colorado National Guard. Members of the Colorado National Guard and Colorado Fuel and Iron Company, camp guards, got into a firefight with 1,200 striking coal miners and their family. Around 19 to 25 members of the United Mine Workers of America were killed, while 4 members of the company and the Colorado National Guard were killed as well. So, this professor, Professor McGettigan, decided to use his free speech rights. And they are free speech rights, by the way, to compare proposed job cuts to the Ludlow Massacre. And the way that he did it was he claimed that, and this is what he said, what he claims he said, that CSU Chancellor Michael Martin assembled a hit list and was going to terminate the 50 people who are on his list. McGettigan said his email account was deactivated for several days because it violated the university's electronic communications policy. Now, I've looked up CSU Pueblo's electronic policy. And what it says is that people cannot use and I'm looking at Part 4 of the policy, that people cannot use their email to intimidate, threaten, or harass other individuals or to interfere with the ability of others to conduct university business. And this mass email that McGettigan put out, he sent to everyone, apparently. He apparently sent it to, from what I can figure out, he sent it out, he sent out this email to faculty, students, and staff. And by the way, to kind of give some more context on this layoffs, basically 22 people were going to lose their jobs, and 19 vacant positions were not going to be filled. Now, that doesn't add up to 50, I know, but that's all the information that I have here, is that the university said it was going to cut 22 positions in an effort to save money, and 19 vacant positions were not going to be filled. It could be that the writer at KRDO didn't cut it out or add everything correctly. It could also mean that they were thinking about doing 50 layoffs and were definitely doing something like 41. So, or they rounded up, because 50 does sound better than 41. But the issue that there is here is, did he use his free speech rights? Yes, this professor used his free speech rights. And the question that has to be asked is, was the use of electronic communications to intimidate, threaten, or harass other individuals or to interfere with the ability of others to conduct university business, did he violate that part of CSU Pueblo's electronic communications policy? Well, if you compare layoffs to a massacre, maybe, this is a gray area for me. But I want to bring it back to what Pope Francis said, which is, each person not only has the freedom of expression, the right, but also the obligation to say what one thinks to help the common good. And then he said, one cannot provoke, one cannot insult other people's faiths, one cannot make fun of faith. Or make fun of, cannot provoke. And this professor was probably looking to provoke someone within the administration. And so in that situation, he may have violated CSU Pueblo's regulations and had his email account shut down. Now, one of the things that should be noticed is that this is why courts were created and lawyers were created, to settle things like this. Is Professor Tim McGettigan, being censored? Yes and no. Is the university wrong for